Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. It's game number 2 here live from the ESL studios in Cologne. Aquila versus Fnatic. Aquila up 1-0. I'm hi-rez Bart, and that fine gentleman there is Brandon Nance, a.k.a. Juice DM.
How do you...
I know your name. Easy. Free. Stay free.
We're going to be jumping into game 2 in just a few minutes here, guys. After Aquila's game 1, though, you got to wonder what Fnatic is going to switch up. They got a dream comp. They got the chaos side. I mean, They got all the things they could have wanted. They
got Fun Balls, Freya, and They got Zalia's Vamana, and they had no answer for...
And that should have been it. I mean,
Globals?
That's GG, right?
Well...
And Aquila played this comp yesterday. It didn't work. They played the...
Yeah, the global style, yeah.
I think the Nemesis is what changed. The Nemesis was incredible. I mean, this allowed them to use the ultimate, stop the Vamana from fighting. They blew up Half Devil every single time.
Every time. They bullied him really hard in that early game. But with that, let's move into the picks and bans. Staying on the same sides now are our teams. Left side, Aquila. Right side, Fnatic. First ban, no Thor.
I can't believe it. Oh my God, it's so crazy. And again, Pretty Prime.
Just snap bans here. Thor, Vulcan, Amir, Nua, done.
Yeah, they're not letting that Nua know.
And first picks are good.
So I hear this God's good.
I hear that Fnatic has to draft Geb here now.
Oh yeah, this is Geb even stronger because now he'll reduce some of the damage that she does passively through, well, his passive.
Right. His passive, if you don't know, does reduce crit damage. So.
Down to 25% from 100.
Yes, that's correct.
Which is nuts.
Yeah. So 125% of your damage to 200% of your damage when you crit. But no, they're not going to draft Geb. They're going to take Freya Ra. And I think, they just can't let Aquila get Ra again.
I mean, I didn't expect Pretty Prime to have that level. But Pretty Prime's Agni is still just as good.
Freya? Whew.
Freya is...
she was okay.
I mean, maybe that was just that one game. I mean, people lose games all the time with characters. That shouldn't deter you. Sometimes the run back is necessary.
Okay, fair enough. But now what is Aquila going to draft into this? Do they take the Geb here and ban out the Athena in the next round, perhaps?
This should definitely be Geb here. Taking Geb away from Fnatic, allowing them to play that with the Circuit, not only stripping away that passive, but giving her the Geb shield.
I would really like to see Nemesis Zhang.
Nemesis for where, though?
Put Nemesis into your support role. I mean, I don't know. I just feel like they need to get more frontline for the Circuit. That's generally been her weakness. Without enough frontline, she just gets destroyed. They're going to draft Agni Apollo.
Agni smart.
So where are they going to, they're going to have to make up tankiness, which means they're going to be, looking at the Chalks and these kind of tankier solo laners.
This to me is Aquila's weakness because we've seen Pretty Prime play Agni, we've seen him play Ra, we've seen him play Vulcan. So Ra and Vulcan get picked up. They know they're going to ban the Agni, so they have to pick it here. His God pool needs to increase at this stage.
But yeah, I mean, he needs to get an Isis running or something. But Fnatic takes Athena over the Geb here, not valuing Geb versus the Circuit, interestingly enough.
This should be a Geb ban then.
Yeah,
I mean,
indeed,
I would assume. But then Bacchus here is going to be massive against Ra.
But Aquila needs to ban, so the Aphrodite ban comes out from Fnatic.
Okay.
Aquila needs to ban Loki, I think.
Really?
Loki, excellent against Agni, excellent against Circuit.
That's very true. That's very true. And Zalia's Loki is very, very good.
And if they don't ban Loki, I would be absolutely just so surprised if Fnatic doesn't draft it immediately.
So, option to ban over to Aquila. They still, again, have a few options on the board. They came out with the respect ban, of course, on Ymir. They're going to take away the Vamana.
Yeah, they were worried about that 5-0 score last game, but, I mean, this should, in all intents and purposes, this should be a Loki pick for Fnatic.
Well, we'll find out. We get into the second picking phase for Fnatic. They have 2 picks remaining, one of which will go down right now. They still have to generally pick their solo laner here, and it looks like their jungler will be Nemesis.
It will be Nemesis, so leaving open their final pick here. Kanye Life and Ataraxia still have to pick on the side of Aquila.
I don't see why they picked Nemesis here.
Well, I think they what they've done here is they've said, we're going to try to play the game against you, force you into the Geb pick and pick up a Nemesis of our own, perhaps.
Okay.
Or just make it so, a little bit of mind games, perhaps, just Aquila, like you're picking your front. So kind of what we were talking about earlier. You need a tanky front line to help with the Circuit. We're going to pick Nemesis, and now you know what you're fighting into, trying to give them a,
Yes, I knew it. I knew he was going to do it. I love it.
So the Hell comes back out now for Aquila, and that would be a pretty tough matchup, I think, for the Loki.
Well, for me, with this... Oh, that's a good counter
This
pick.
is the god that Zalia really made his name on coming back into Smite competitive scene, was the Bakasura. So, but how does it fare against Hell?
Well, actually, he can shut her down pretty hard.
He doesn't have a lot of issue with the sustain against the Hell, where a lot of guys would, especially melees.
The issue is just straight up stripping. I mean, she's going to heal those minions, get them into the tower repeatedly. He has to be very aggressive here. Now, looking over to Comfrey, he's going to be able to go into a lot of damage here. If he goes into defense, it could be detrimental because Frostiak's going to have the ultimate.
Is just Bacchus enough peel with the Agni stun out for Repicas to really get going? I mean, talking about team fights in the mid game, if Bacchus isn't there, Bacchus doesn't peel for Serket, she's done.
I think what it comes down to is how Repicas plays this.
Yeah.
Does he play it as an initiator or does he play it as an assassin?
Right.
If he can play this more similarly to a Loki or to a Bastet, he'll be fine. If he gets aggressive early and makes himself known too soon, I think he's going to get blown up.
You're absolutely right, especially looking at the draft here from Fnatic. You have the Freya set up for the Ra ultimate. You have the Frostiak double dash Fist of the God set up for the Ra ultimate. You have Half Devil's AoE CC. You got a lot of ways to deal with Serket, a lot of very forgiving, large crowd control based spells. In fact, one player-based AoE stun coming out of Frostiak, as well as Banish is not a hard spell to hit out of Freya, so it's going to be challenging for Repicas in this game, but Serket is, you know, as mobile as they come. So if she can find her way to the back lines, get that damage out, shut down that Ra heal, shut down Zalia's healing as well, you know, a good shot for Aquila here. But we are going to move into game. Aquila up 1-0, ladies and gentlemen, and we are underway.
Now, this is going to be very strong for them to start off because level 1, Confrey has 2 abilities, and not many players can say that.
Right.
Shadow Nightmare technically has the same amount of damage and healing, but it's in a static place. It's only the 1 shot.
That's right. Well, before we get underway here, guys, just a quick reminder. We do have a raffle going on. 400 gems could be yours. ESL.gg/Smite raffle. R-A-F-F-L-E, not E-L.
Okay, I was going to say.
You're trying to get to the URL there. But yeah, a chance to win 400 gems. A lot of there's a lot of gem codes. I think there's like 1,000 or something that we're going to be giving away. So a lot of gems, a lot of opportunity to pick those up. Get a free $8 for your Smite game. But the teams are roaming as 5. Doesn't look like we'll have much early aggression here.
You know me. I love the invade every game.
Wait, who are you?
You said my name before.
Oh, that's
you
right.
Remembered it.
You're Brandon Nance.
But I love this counter invade situation where they're just like, we're gonna sit at our tower.
Yeah.
Juggle's all yours,
Good
guys.
luck, boys.
See you in 30 seconds.
Yeah, there's nothing you can do at the before the that 10-second mark. So, but let's go ahead and quickly introduce your teams. Aquila once again wearing the blue trunks, fighting on the bottom side of the minimap and the left side of your spectator UI. It will be Repicas in the jungle as Serket. Pretty Prime in the mid lane as Agni. Kanye Life matching up with the captain. Ataraxia in the dual lane as Bacchus and Apollo. And that leaves Confrey with Sprint 2 on Hell in the solo lane.
Check out the invade. Zalia and Frostiak immediately go for the blue buff, albeit not really sure why they didn't check the red first, but I guess they're using their ward very smart. Invade coming out on the top side.
So fast.
Oh, Repicas and Confrey, they're taking a lot of time.
Look at them,
here.
they don't know where to go. They don't know where to go. They were like, are they in orange? Are they blue? And now they're too late.
They can't fight this.
Yeah, they can't fight this.
That's Bakasura with heavy hammer. Like, they can't mess with this, man.
They want to mess with it a little bit here. Zalia's going to take a good bit of damage for trouble with the chainsaws coming out. Now, Repicas going to take some damage, but Zalia can't fight into this that well without really any spells to his credit. But Aquila wasting a lot of time, and Bakasura is going to get a free wave on this while Frostiak pressures his blue buff. And, well, you know, he's just kind of whacking away at Serket. She doesn't have a health pool anywhere near what Nemesis does coming out of that warrior role, that kind of warrior assassin swing. It does go the way of Aquila, but here comes a rotation from the mid laner as well. Shadow Nightmare's here, but here comes Pretty Prime as well, and Agni is a great level 2, and now that's going to force Fnatic off the ball, but Confrey does not pick up the blue buff, force back to base, a big advantage for Zalia, and well, if we saw anything last game, he doesn't need a big advantage to still have a good game, and he's going to have a huge one here. He's going to be a level and a half ahead of the Hell before
Look
he
at
gets
this.
back to
I
lane.
love this. Frostiak utilizing the hand too.
Go to red, boys.
Yeah, they're going right for it, and there's no hand of the gods to be found here. Repicas going to spot this out. They could still be in trouble,
got about
though.
280 HP here on that Serket. They're going to get the Flame Wave, but no passive is available right now for the Agni. Pretty Prime. Oh, man, oh, man.
What the hell is happening? This game has been so dramatic.
Oh, yeah.
I just can't even understand. Like, Confrey finally getting back to lane at level 2 without dying. Goes for the immediate clear, actually only hitting the front of the wave there, just trying to keep himself from getting slowed down by that Zalia slow. This has been a very awkward start. There's been multiple invades and yet not a lot of steals.
It's actually really important, the play that happened in the red buff there. The fact that Fnatic was unable to convert onto that red buff means that Zalia wastes a lot of time, misses out on one wave, which means Confrey's only about a wave behind and about half a level, but look how much Bakasura does with level 2 Butcher Blades.
He has to be careful, though, because if he overextends too much, he might not be able to pick up his...
Whoa, that was level 1 Butcher Blades.
That's level 1.
Yeah.
So he has all of his abilities.
Yeah, he has all of his abilities here. He took the leap. I think, just in case he
Yeah,
got bailed out now with a level 2 Butcher's
If you're in
Blade,
the jungle, you got to take it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So left side, speed buff getting started. Looks like Replicas will be able to pick that up. Actually, just Frostyak getting it now at 2 minutes and 30 seconds. Very late on the right speed buff, and yet red buff still not taken.
Yeah, they haven't gone back for it yet, which is questionable to say the least. But, granted, it is Agni who is, Flame Dash is basically the best level 1 spell at clearing the wave.
Yeah.
Even better than Isis's Wind Gust.
At level 1, yeah.
At level 1.
Very, very strong.
It's the only remaining level 1 ability besides, well, the Anubis Plague of Locusts, but we won't have that conversation here today. They can clear the wave at level 1.
Wait, you don't like the Anubis, the kit? You're not a fan?
Have you heard my Anubis solution?
Yeah, the three
actives.
Yeah,
all he needs is beads and Aegis and Blink.
I was telling Sio this morning, and he just looks at me like I'm crazy.
No, it's perfect.
Oh, left side. Look, I'm not really sure who... yeah, actually, Half Devil was able to pick that one up. He's level 5 now.
Yeah, and, well, it's about 1,000 experience advantage in favor of Fnatic, about what you would expect, given how well their early game did go. But look at the positioning from Nemesis. Frostyak is available to make a play, but who can they go on? 3 fairly mobile targets coming out of Aquila there in the mid lane, so it's tough to jump.
So after the domination that was game 1, I'm actually going to predict that Fnatic has a better chance here. Just because they made the cardinal mistake.
And Xaylia's going to go in on Comfrey. And Comfrey, well, you're done.
That's actually the mistake, is they tried to ban pick Xaylia again. You can't do it. His god pool is too massive.
Yeah.
You put yourself in an awkward position, and if they're second pick, they're going to counter pick you every time. The Hell pick was smart, but the Bakasura was smarter.
It's a tough matchup. Left side, Gold Fury has been activated, but Apollo's going into 3 here. Banished out of the stun, but it does set up the Raw Snipe. That's going to be enough. Half Devil not going to be able to stay in, and does get picked up by Pretty Prime there. And that could turn into a Gold Fury going to the side of Aquila if they can rally to the circuit, making her way over. Frostyak cannot stay. I don't know if they saw Ward spot that out. In goes the Bacchus. Frostyak in a lot of trouble. The dash is down, and here comes Circuit. But no, the dash comes just back up in time, and missing the CC is the Circuit. And well, Aquila cannot go in. Only a Hog 1, and it's down on the side of Kanye.
I really wonder how much damage Ataraxia just took from the Gold Fury itself.
Oh, quite a bit, I'm sure, yeah.
He took at least 4 hits there. And as a very untanky Apollo at this stage of the game, that was a lot. I mean, there was definitely more than he could have dealt with.
Well, first Gold Fury doesn't go to either team here so far. So let's take a look at the farm, the comparative farm between the junglers here. You're looking at Circuit sitting at about 3,000 net worth, and Nemesis sitting right next to him. They're 7 gold apart right now. So in lockstep are the Circuit and the Nemesis, but the big disparity here is the 3,500 farm on Bakasura versus the 3,000 gold farmed on the Hell. And well, as you mentioned, her real key to success in this lane is going to be stripping XP and gold away from the Bakasura.
And he can't.
And no, he's got just tremendous lane control right now.
If he steps off that tower, he's dead.
Yeah, he's just going to dive him. And even with the sprint, there's a sprint 2 also on Xaylia, so he can just rush him down.
Yeah, that's true. He will keep up. And once that sprint 2 has gone off, the Heavy Hammer then will reapply. He has cripples to be used as well with Regurgitate, which is back online. Just getting his blue buff and extra experience as well. Comfrey, very afraid. It won't even move up.
One thing I'm really surprised not seeing more Bakasura players do is pick up the Heavenly Agility, because it buffs your regurgitated minion speed as well.
Does it?
Yeah.
It doesn't affect the cats. How weird.
I believe it does. Yeah, I mean, I think because maybe not. Maybe it only affects the cats. I thought it did though. I think that they're.
It used to affect the cats, and I remember playing the Bastet and picking it up and it not working. Oh,
yeah, maybe that it used to at least. I mean, that was
for yourself, Mage player. That was great. So mid camps once again will be respawning, both of which are coming up very, very soon. You're going to start seeing groupings from both teams. Bakasura might have a line to rotate in. There's no way Comfrey's leaving this lane.
Mid camps, yeah, respawning here. As you mentioned, left side of the mid looks like that's where the contention is going to be. Right side is controlled by Fnatic. The beam was off of the mark, but the taunt was good. Snipe coming through, only hitting Kanye life. They were looking probably for Repicos or Pretty Prime. They're going to try to pile into the box. And Toxic comes out. Repicos doing plenty of damage here. And I think they could have bursted. Half Devil, they would have committed. Instead, it's Kanye life takes a fall. Xaylia's going to go deep, and the ultimate is right on target. And a lot of trouble with Repicos as well. He's forced out. Ataraxia rotates in and picks up the support as well. They get at least 1 kill out of that, but it's a 2-for-1 trade. Aquila, well, they got blown up there, and I don't think they were expecting that. And now left side is going to be the Gold Fury. They're going to trade it for the tier 1 on right to Hell. It's important for Hell to get back into this game, but trading that for a Gold Fury, not sure if worth.
What I was kind of focusing on is the part where you said Repicos would be in trouble as Circuit. Like, that's funny.
Right. Well, no, I mean, like, really, this is where Circuit shines, right?
Yeah.
Level 6 through maybe 12. And then again, another power spike kind of once you get to the crit online.
Yeah,
but then,
like 20.
Yeah, later in the game, team fighting is just so difficult on this god because the amount of AoE damage that, just comes out in Smite, it's very hard to find the right positioning. But
Serket needs to be ahead.
look
Plain
at
and simple.
Fnatic. I mean, like, it's not like they have the Agni, they have these gods that bring massive AoE damage, just guaranteed. It's line shots from the Raw, it's the AoE stun from Half Devil, and the banish from Funballer to set it all up. But, they're not just dump. It's not Chalk who's just throwing out axes and are just going to whittle you down. It's going to be a little bit easier perhaps than normal here. Repicos has a decent angle on Azalea, but I'm not sure they can make play. He may just turn on both of them and get a kill. We'll see what happens as Repicos does move in. And there goes Azalea. Does get taunted. No, he's dead to rights here as that comes out into the tower. And boom. Go.
Yep, that's the damage he's looking for. He's got to get the full combo
Mid
off.
lane, Shadow Nightmare's gonna take some damage, but he's gonna turn on.
Oh, this could be trouble. He's actually intoxicated.
Yeah.
He's going to slow down a lot. He's going to be drunk. He's swinging. Why are they abandoning this?
Athena ultimate coming in, and Ataraxia does not have the Apollo ultimate, so didn't feel like they got closed fast enough, I don't think.
Well, Funball actually is nowhere near this.
Look at Frosty's positioning here. Pretty Prime. Well, he sees him now from the minions. He's going to go rotate to his Bacchus, but let's take a look on the left side of the Gold Fury here. A lot of damage coming out. Forced back into the fight now is Repicos, and he's going to get blown up by Frosty X Slice and Dice, leaving away his Kanye life. The last shot for Funballer enough to clean it up. Trying to take to the skies Ataraxia. He will be out in time.
He went the wrong direction. Actually just managed to get through. His last bit of mana gets him into that tier 2. Even so, Repicos once again gets picked up. Kanye life goes down again. This is a lot of trouble.
They're going to try to put damage down on the Frosty, but the shield just a bit too strong. It's going to prevent a lot of damage coming out of that Agni Bomb, and they're going to try to pressure mid here. Does Azalea have his ultimate up? He does indeed, so they can put a lot of damage down on this tower with the minions. But
they should have done it.
Wait for another wave. Yeah, that's one thing that I think.
Well, then again, we don't know if he actually has minions.
Do we? We might. No, we don't know. You're right.
Yeah, we can't tell.
Poor guys.
Or he could just be a 0.
Poor us. No, I don't think he has them, but they're still going to try to pick up.
No, Comfrey, go into the back line. He is very dead.
Yeah. No. Shadow Nightmare says nuh-uh.
That was a lot of dead. He just walked into the back of 5 people, including a Bakasura with his ultimate as hell.
And he had just kind of caught back up in this game, too, and then just feeds one away.
Yeah, well, Shadow Nightmare actually topping the charts here in experience. Overall, right now, his experience per minute, 600, putting him at level 11. Azalea a little bit behind there. They're diving back in. Kanye Life level 7 right now, trying to make a name for himself in this fight. I think he's going to wind up losing a big respawn chunk if he doesn't back out of there very quickly.
A big respawn chunk, a fat chunk of respawn.
Fat chunks, I know about them.
Yeah, and speaking of those deaths here, we can quickly talk kind of an interesting stat that you wouldn't normally see. Time spent dead.
Yeah.
42 seconds out of the Hell, 39 seconds out of the Bacchus, leading all players there. So more time spent dead, and 3 members of Fnatic yet to die. Ra, Nemesis, Freya, 100% uptime so far in this game.
Yeah, and if you want 3 characters to not die, it would definitely be those 3.
And whereas on the other side for Aquila, everyone has died.
Yeah, which is rough at this stage of the game. You can really start seeing it start to pan out in experience, as the experience per minute has just been, it's mostly red. Granted, Hell, Comfrey, of course, has caught back up, Pretty Prime back up there, but everyone is ahead of their counterpart at this point.
Yeah, but I mean, as substantial as the momentum seems here, it's not a big gold advantage, only about a couple thousand gold. And as you can see there on your screen, Frostyak and Repicos, well, they're pretty much dead even.
Now, what are we going to expect here in terms of actives? Comfrey already has the sprint. I'm expecting Aegis Pendant. Moving Aegis can be very important. For instance,
Azalea, dive in the tower. Is it going to be enough? Comfrey.
Uh-oh.
Why are you in black stance, Comfrey, please?
Oh, what are you doing, guy?
What? Oh, Repicos is going to try to make a rotation here, but they're going to have enough of that as Frostek moves over, as is Half Devil with the ultimate. They're going to go in on a Pretty Prime, force out the beads. Beads down on Agni. The call should be coming out now. They know they can pressure the mid lane a bit later. They may be able to actually just take this right side tower. And they tried to pressure the mid lane. They may have a bit better contention as the right side is already at half health. And yeah, with 4 members here and a full creep wave, that's going to be all she wrote for this right side tower. And well, Aquila not in position to capitalize by trying to pick up a Gold Fury that'll be respawning soon. So they're not going to get much out of that big rotation from Fnatic.
You know, with Funball starting to get into that Freya form once again, it's going to be very hard for them to keep back up. And you can see, has the Witchblade online already, kind of copying, and then a strange Vam Shroud into boots.
Yeah, why not? Hey, I mean, you know, he needs a little bit of that regen, I suppose.
Nah, she doesn't get a lot of last hits.
No, that's true. She doesn't.
I would have went just Unicorn Boys in that. But either way, Gold Fury respawns.
And cost-efficient magical power. 800 gold for 20 magical power. Pretty solid.
Sure.
It's similar to the High Rock Mark of the Vanguard.
I mean, but in that sense, why not just build Tiny Trinket?
True.
turn up.
Well, I mean, last game you saw, he went into that Bancroft and it was pretty awkward in his build.
We have a very big grouping here, Bart. All 5 members of both teams are actually hanging around the Gold Fury right now. Pretty Prime strangely using Path of Flames, and that will be spotted to get some experience here, giving away the potential of positioning, but backing is Shadow Nightmare.
Now, this style of play has become more and more popular here as the teams are looking to, as the mid camps go to one side, they try to capitalize on the Gold Fury. Let's hold that thought though, as Half Devil's going to eat a Circuit ultimate, a lot of damage coming out. Confrey heals him, or tries to heal him, I guess. Looks like there. Oh, it popped. Did it get Frostiak as well? I can't tell. It looks like
he's dead anyway.
Yeah, he's dead anyway. No, he didn't have it active or would have popped on Azalea as well. Azalea going to try to clean up Repicos, but he's just not going to be fast enough. Circuit too mobile.
That was a big mistake.
Down go 2 members of Fnatic now, Half Devil and Frostiak, and this should, in theory, turn into the Gold Fury here, but, well, with Shadow Nightmare lurking and Azalea, a lot of damage, and Azalea's ultimate not available, however. Oh, the burst is real. He's going to try to leap out of this one. The bomb on target. Ataraxia snipes that last shot. Getting that onto the Hunter, important there. Getting Ataraxia ahead, getting that Unicorn build online if he does go for it, going to be really important. Funballer, pretty prime dodging. The heal comes through from hell. Funballer can be in some trouble here. No, that Athena ultimate should be enough. That damage reduction should keep him alive. But yes, Repicos going to rotate back into this fight.
Whoa, he got taunted directly in. Casey going to find a line here. He actually uses the Deathbane to dash away, and the 3 standing members of Fnatic have deterred the 5-man push.
Oh, Azalea. He bought Ichvile.
Did he really? Oh, we have not really seen this item too much. Shadow Nightmare taking a lot. Agni Bomb in the back. Shadow Nightmare's heal's already
Huge
down.
advantage.
Left side, take a look at the Gold Fury. It's getting very low. Half Devil, who gets it? Fnatic finds it. Swift Hog coming out from Half Devil.
Half Devil missed a couple in the last game, a couple of important camp hogs, but gets a big Gold Fury there in traffic, setting them up to continue their lead. Even after losing a bit of momentum there through the later stages of the early game, they will pick up that Gold Fury, and they're very, very happy about that one. But in that fight, I mean, they could have easily won that fight, but a little bit, once again, miscommunication from Fnatic. The banish from Funballer comes out at the same time as the damage comes through from the mages. They lose a little bit there.
Snipe completely missed.
But at the same right, they banished out 3 members of Aquila as the Agni Bombs were coming in, which means that they didn't get stunned out in an AoE, take a lot of damage, and then have that follow-up. So, a little bit of a trade, but it could have been executed a bit better from Fnatic. I think that's the main thing I'm taking away from their games here, that Game 2 looks a little better than Game 1. If they're able to take this one down and move into Game 3, well, there's a guaranteed Game 3. I think they'll look even better still. I think they're having a little bit of trouble warming up and getting used to the lane environment.
Well, I mean, Game 1 was phenomenal. Game 2 so far has been a struggle. The 3,000 gold that Fnatic just earned from that Gold Fury is really going to change things. Considering they're up 3,600, if it was a 1,500 gold swing in the other direction, they'd be up by 800 at this point. And if they got that Gold Fury, they would have just pushed right into that fight.
Look how early this Weakening Curse is coming out from Kanye Life.
I like it.
That early, yeah?
Yeah, I mean, given the fact that Funball is healing with his passive, Azalea could build Lifesteal. He also has Eat Minion.
Devour, yeah.
Frostiak has Retribution on top of the fact that Shadow Nightmare still has that Solar Blessing. I mean, this could really turn a fight around.
Yeah, it could. I mean, and let's not discredit the slow as well. And it helps really swing the heal in favor of Confrey. Right, it gives them an even bigger disparity in the amount of healing you put out.
Ooh.
Yeah, Snap Mez coming out, but really like Fnatic's playstyle here. We haven't really seen much of this at all in Smite, this kind of very aggressive push style, but here comes Aquila with their answer. Over the top comes Ataraxia. They're going to try to tee off on Shadow Nightmare, but they can't get him down. Azalea now getting on by 2. Both of the mages trying to focus on the Bakasura. They're going to get him, but at what cost? Ataraxia takes a lot of damage. Down he goes.
My God.
Frostiak picks up Repicos. Kanye Light to fall as well.
Did you see the death?
Of whom?
Frostiak killed Repicos with Last Breath on Retribution. He killed him with the true damage tick to the shield. Beautiful play. Beautiful taunt. Pretty Brown goes down with a huge combo as well. That's going to be a full 5-man swing. Only Azalea going down. Expect the back. This could be FG.
There was, once again, this time miscommunication, I think, on the side of Aquila. 3 members of the team get very, very aggressive trying to take down the raw blow and cooldowns at the beginning of that fight, and then the 2 mages peel off and try to push Bakasura out of the fight. Granted, Hell and Agni do take him down, but they lost the fight really, really substantially after that, obviously losing all 5 members, and they're going to lose 2 towers on the left side here. No, they're going to peel off.
This should have been FG. I don't know what they were waiting for. The rotation was super late. They're going to get 500 gold off that. Granted, a lot of experience, a lot of gold. What?
Hog 3 was down on Half Devil. Use it in the fight to clear out some minions.
Huh. Okay. Never mind. Very smart. I think they could have did it without it, though.
I think so, too. But let's talk again about Azalea's build here. a lot of really cost-efficient items.
Yeah, we get the heavy hammer. 1,300 gold, does a ton of damage, 200 health on top of it, and slows. Warrior Tabby increases the movement speed. Iqbal, just 30% attack speed, reducing the power of the people that he's hitting and increasing his own, which is massive.
Yeah, and what's, I think, the reason you're seeing that Iqbal bot is the Ataraxia build.
Yeah, it's going to strip away some of his damage, and couple that with the Witchblade that's already online. I mean, he's going to be throwing pennies out.
Ataraxia going for a very attack speed, penetration-oriented build, and Iqbal, solid counter to that, and also will grant Bakasura more attack speed than what Ataraxia has. And, you know, even once Ataraxia gets 6-slotted and is hitting for roughly true damage with all the pen that he has, Bakasura has true damage in his kit, so
that's true.
He's going to be okay.
And not to mention, once he gets something like, actually, he has full sprint online.
Yeah.
And with the beads, he can just stick to a target permanently. If they don't build Aegis, they're going to take damage. Guaranteed.
Yeah, and without the passive up and running on the Apollo, well, it's Bakasura can stand and fight pretty much any member of Aquila right now.
Speaking of Aquila, left lane, Ataraxia, going to be using that Apollo effectively as he begins to start split pushing. Right side, we are going to see wards being picked up, the sentries getting placed down. There is still a sentry ward in the inventory of Fnatic, but they're going to just start
this. They see Aquila looking at the red buff here. Aquila trying to buy time to pick up the red buff before they initiate. Yeah, can they fight into this here? Kanye Life looking for that backside leap in. Fire Giant not going to get low enough. Funballer takes a lot of damage from the lava field, trying to keep the Fire Giant alive. Half Devil still in the pit as well. Kanye continues forward. Intoxicate comes out now over the wall, and the reset for the Fire Giant going to be forced. He's going to eat that Nemesis ultimate as well in the pit. Zaylia is going to try to force out Replicons. Will be successful. He's just one more in hand, but the last breath going to come out to buy himself some time. Funballer picks up a kill onto Kanye Life, and well, Fnatic continues on in. With their tank still alive, they have a good opportunity to try to pick up this Fire Giant after the fight concludes. Pretty Prime doesn't do enough to Frostic with the shield. Replicos is forced way back into the jungle, going to try to pick up an orange buff. Now fighting in the pit with that raw heal. It's a Fire Giant for Fnatic at 19 minutes.
You know, we're talking about how well Zaylia is doing. I mean, he's 3-3-2. He's been instrumental in the team fights. You have 507 from Funball, 507 coming out from the mid laner Shadow Nightmare. Every single fight to me has been Frostiak. The Retribution shields have reflected a million points of damage. The Slice and Dices have set up everything. He's baiting a ton of shots with his dash, and the ultimates are bringing them down so quickly. Frost, this is you look at the score, and you might not see it reflected in the 3-1-10. This is the best I have seen Frostiak play maybe ever.
You know, it's on a god that we haven't seen a lot out of him either.
Right.
And but traditionally, Nemesis is one of those gods that really overperforms at LAN.
Yeah, I mean, she's super strong. I mean, she strips away protections. She has a shield that can heal her, which is nonsense. She can slow people from a huge distance and then dash through them to get body blocks set up. She's inherently tanky as an assassin, and it's a very dangerous combination.
Bakasura here, let's take a look at his in-hand gold. Sitting at 1,000 gold as I take the Gold Fury here. My guess is going to be an execution from him in the chins on to Frostiak, but I would say double chins.
I would say double chins is more likely. Bakasura with that attack speed, getting that extra damage up soon would be good, but though he doesn't have a lot of penetration. In fact, the team itself doesn't have a lot of penetration.
Yeah, look at Frostiak's stats there. That's just with Nemesis, 100% win-loss rate. Not a lot of games played, but 531 GPM and 4.5 KDA, and well, he's looking to improve that this game here, sitting at a pretty healthy 3-1-10.
That's kind of incredible, actually.
And neither of them have lost with either of the gods they're playing.
Well, Serket.
Yeah.
Serket not really performing as well as we had expected, albeit Replicos has avoided death so many times with proper play, but he's using his damage to do that, properly using that cripple to shut down her movement. Is Zaylia, what we need to see, Replicos needs to be using those beads aggressively. He's being too defensive as a character that's known to kill people.
Let's talk 4-level advantage on Funballer over Ataraxia.
Yeah, wow. I mean, that's been a lot of Half Devil as well. I mean, Half Devil has not let them roam around the jungle as the previous game.
11,000 before there's any level 20 players. That is a huge differential.
Speaking of huge, Comfrey takes about 70% of his shot right there to immediately Funball in the air, not getting the final shot, but Frostiak picks it up with a beautiful Swift Vengeance. They're going to be able to get that one down. Kanye's going to have to be respawning here. Ataraxia, though, picks up Zaylia in the background, and Comfrey's heal is going to keep them in this fight.
They still take tier 2 in the mid lane. Worth it to trade up that Bakasura. Bakasura actually the 4th lowest farm on the side of Fnatic. They're going to continue fighting here, but I mean, I think that's really important. Bakasura is not ahead of Nemesis, Freya, or Ra, but has still had such an impact on this game that just kind of indicates how far ahead they are. He goes to the back line, he disrupts a lot, they get the tier 2, but they're okay to lose him there.
I'm really surprised to see Comfrey not go into more health. more maybe like a Warlock Sash or something like that. In fact, he's aiming once again
Those
for
laning
the
phase
Soul
was
Reaver.
so difficult to kind of execute on. Half Devil finds a kill in a pretty prime
Trade.
after a nice stun comes out. Ataraxia will pick up a kill on the Frostiak, and well, Frostiak's almost all of their kind of reinitiation in this fight. I mean, granted they can set up some stuff in the Raw, but without that Nemesis, they just don't feel anywhere near as strong.
Ataraxia smartly clearing up this wave, healing himself back up. Confrey getting very low in the mana department, still trying to keep his team on the offensive. Even so, they lost a lot there. Another Gold Fury goes to the wayside. The tier 2 goes down. They lose multiple players, and they're going to now be down by 11,000. Oh,
Funballer catches out Confrey, looking for a little bit of buff love there. Not going to find it here. And, well, looking at the gold farm, it's tough for Serket. 1,700 gold in hand, looking for that little bit over 3,000 to pick up the Deathbringer. Teams looking to buy it outright instead of buying it. She could have a short sword now, but holding that, why? Is it like the mind games? Are you going to get Rage or Deathbringer? I'm not sure.
I think she's just trying to farm up as fast as possible.
Well, we saw this yesterday, too, that Serket didn't buy any crit until it was full Deathbringer.
He'll probably buy it now. I mean, there's no...
I expect to buy a short sword.
There's no reason to not buy it very soon, but they have to defend the Phoenix. 4 people rushing in. As you see, Half Devil, another huge pull into the snipe. Ataraxia goes down immediately.
That could be, that could be it for Aquila. They lose their Hunter there. They lose all their split push potential. Zalia picks up another kill, and they just continue in. Down will go Kanye Life as well to Funballer, and Funballer has been completely unchecked in this game, it feels like.
This is what I talked about. Sometimes you lose with a god. That doesn't mean you're going to lose every time.
Sure, yeah.
You have to go for the run back sometimes. Funballer was smart to stick with his guns, putting up 15K so far this game, second highest overall, but nothing compared to Shadow Nightmare's 18,782, on top of the fact that he's put up almost 20K in healing. And
20,000 total damage dealt. Nutso, man. Moving back onto the left side here, Repicos gets sniped nearly enough.
Confrey once again going to get picked off. The Hell Pick is not working out against this comp. They were very smart with the Zalia pick.
Whoa. Half Devil has outfarmed the Nemesis and every member of Fnatic.
Wow. He is 4th currently in gold. Actually, he's 3rd. He's 3rd.
He's now above Bakasura
he just won above Bakasura. Experience per minute. He's closer to the bottom, but is still ahead of everyone on the blue team aside from Ataraxia.
Complete madness. Yeah, you see the XP per minute there. You can see that, well, while he's not getting a lot of XP, he's got a tremendous amount of gold here. His net worth sitting at 12,100. He's like 600 gold ahead of their jungler.
Half Devil. This is the Half Devil we were talking about in the pregame show. Not the thing that we saw last game where he was just dying and missing hogs. He's swiftly hogging everything that comes through. His team fights have been incredible. And for the second game in a row, Athena and Nemesis have completely changed the way this game is to be played.
Second Fire Giant has been started, and, well, it's falling in favor of Fnatic. Aquila can't even move out of their base to contest this one. And, well, I was saying kind of Shadow Nightmare, a little bit more of a passive player, a little bit less aggressive in the lane, not as much mid-game presence, but he's definitely proved me wrong this game. 6-0-11, and he has been, once again, instrumental. I mean, and I don't think we're going to see Raw Nemesis in the next game. At least I hope not.
That's more than likely true.
I mean, the answer to this is who has had Raw Nemesis has won the game.
Also Athena.
Right, the Athena as well, yeah. The core just swapped there. They take both the major map objectives, do Fnatic. They're ahead by some absurd amount of gold and experience, about 15,000 in both aspects there. They're going to fall back to the base one last time. They're all sitting at above 1,000 gold in hand, finish off those final items, and move into the base.
This is looking like Fnatic's game, though we have seen Aquila in this position before.
Yeah, but not with this kind of deficit.
Was it?
It was not
with 3 Phoenixes down and they're tighten at 10%?
Yeah, but you're looking at only 2 level 20s on the side of Fnatic with a 16,000 experience differential.
And you go across the way and
you have a level 14 support.
And 3 level 16s and your highest level's 18.
Yeah, I mean, it's just not, it's not the same game, right? It's not late game. It's only 26 minutes. It's not that 35-minute mark where, you're 5 or 6 slotted and you can really, like, even if they wipe Fnatic here, what are they going to get off of it? A tier 1? Maybe 2, tier 1 and a tier 2 in the mid lane. I mean,
maybe.
The lanes are all pushed in. I mean, it's just not anywhere near the same game.
Granted, they have about 6,000 gold worth of experience, or rather gold on the map there, but 6,000 gold barely makes a dent. That doesn't even shrink the lead. It's not even close to half.
Fnatic's knocking on the door of the left side. The Phoenix far away from Fire Giant here to force out that map. Well, it makes it very difficult to defend your left side as well as that Fire Giant, but judging by how the last one went, I don't think Aquila's too interested in trying to contest here. Half Devil dashing forward.
Oh my
Confrey
God,
with a preemptive. Kanye Light trying to stay in the front line, but Zaylia just going to go tee off on Confrey yet again, and Confrey's got to be tired of this by now. Zaylia is going to lose his life, but he's done his job. He picks up 2 kills there as down goes Pretty Prime as well. Replicons will pick up Zaylia at the end of the day, but Ataraxia gets run down in the base as well, and this could very well be it. Only Kanye Life and Replicons alive, and well, they're not really the best gods at holding a 4-man now Fire Giant buff holding team out of the base.
Especially with last breath down. Like, how is Serket supposed to run into these 4 players?
Oh, yeah, well, she just cannot. I mean, she's basically, if she uses any of her damaging abilities besides her 2, she's going to die.
Well, they're trying to defend it here. Titan is getting pressured. It's getting very low. I don't see them getting through this one, despite their track record. We're going to see Kanye go down as well as the Titan, and we have an even set.
26-10, your final scoreline. 19,000 experience and 18,000 gold separating the teams. Fnatic showing us why they come in as the #1 seed overall. A statement game from them, I think, there.
And look at this, not even a smile on his face. He's like, this is business time.
Yeah, look at that. They are some dour men. Only Zaylia is going to crack a smile there.
Well, I mean, he's like, I did that the first game, guys. God damn.
Well, no, actually, a much different style game from him. Still, similar kind of, or really not similar, but traditional Zaylia lane dominance. He wasn't quite as powerful in the lane in the last game. Goes 6-5, but plays a much different style. Sacrificing himself often, diving to the back lane, disrupting those fights, making room for his team, instead of vice versa with the Fauna.
Now, right there, I'm looking at Funball for this one. He puts up a ridiculous amount of damage. The banishes were on point. While they can be a little bit more communicative with the snipes and such, that one to me was a lot of Funball.
Yeah, much different game this time too. 8-0 and 10. Has a shell. I mean, it was playing a very utility game. Yeah.
That's my man.
Let's take a look at how Funballer made this one happen, Brandon. Walk us through this one.
So you watch this. He's doing the damage. He's actually taking a lot himself. You can see he's very low, and he's going to play safe. He doesn't want to be too aggressive. He realizes that once Kanye comes in, they lose major contention. He walks through the heal to heal himself up, and then here comes the waste, right? Going to lay it straight down. Beautiful switching on the targets. Gets a double kill. Rotates into the lane to find Repicos dashing away as well. And he just pushes him away. His team rotates back in. Repicos winds up at the speed buff. His team takes the Fire Giant, and that was it.
That was really where the game felt pretty much out of reach.
Yeah, I agree.
For the boys of Aquila. You see Fnatic locking heads together here in the front of your camera. That is the half devil there. Frostyak in the center. Left side is Lloydie. Right side.
By the way, that wasn't like
Dazer.
That, I mean, talking about Frostyak, that wasn't like that wasn't like him just trying to be hard to the camera.
Frostyak has one emotion.
He's just
he only has one thought, and it is kill.
Yesterday, I'm talking to them. I'm like, you guys need to communicate more. You need to be louder. I'm like, Frostyak, say something for God's sakes during comms. And he just like looks at me. He's like, but it works.
Hey.
It works.
They made it happen, guys. But that's going to do it here for game number 2. We're all square at 1 apiece. For Brandon, I have been Bart. We're going to go ahead and take a look at a tour of the ESL studio, guys. We'll be back with game number 3 in just 2 shakes of a lamb's tail. Take it away.
What does that even mean?